What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and this one is not a great one. Keke Palmer has filed for physical custody of her son and a restraining order. We got to talk about it. It's open panel, so I'm going to be dropping the link very early. We got to discuss this. Like the video as the intro plays.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I want to make it make one.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
I remember when Candy Hair used to look like this. I fly above. I fly above. I fly. No, that want you? No, I fly above.
Okay, guys, so before we really get into it, I want to say this. This is a serious topic, and I want us to get in the mindset of Keke Palmer at the top of her game, but she's a celebrity. She knew that once she took this step, there was going to be a media firestorm. So that makes her all the more brave. So before we get into the story, just think about this. If you were experiencing it like so many other people experience this, because it happens every day to so many women and men, think about now she's a new mom, the media firestorm. So before we go into that, I just wanted you guys to kind of be cognizant of that, because I can't even imagine what she's going through. In all honesty, I can't even imagine the physical abuse. And on top of that, now the world knows. So, okay, let's get into it. It says Keke Palmer files restraining order against Darius Jackson, asks for full custody of their son. Keke Palmer is seeking a restraining order against Darius Jackson and requesting sole custody of their 8-month son, Leotis. Palmer, 30, accused Jackson, 29, of abusing her multiple times over the course of their 2-year relationship in court documents filed on Tuesday, November 9th, and reviewed by Us Weekly. A very new mom, under scrutiny, but we kind of saw there were control issues with him when he tried to publicly embarrass her over attending the Usher concert. Let's continue. Palmer claimed that she has security footage from a November 5th incident in which Jackson trespassed into my home without my knowledge or consent and threatened her before lunging for my neck, striking me, throwing me over the couch, and stealing my phone. She went on to allege that there have been many instances of physical violence with Jackson that include destroying my personal property, including diaries and prescription eyeglasses, throwing my belongings into the street, throwing my car keys to prevent me from driving away, hitting me in front of our son, which means that this is recently. It's not at the beginning of the relationship. It seems like this has been something that she has endured through the relationship. Spewing profanities about me to our son, threatening to unalive himself with a gun if I left him, harassment, and other physical and emotional abuse. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. This one is going to be a deep one, so I'm just asking if you guys come up, just kind of be cognizant of that. There might be people in here who are currently, enduring abuse, and this should be a safe space for everybody to come and, talk, share stories. So the link has been dropped. But let's continue. In her declaration, Palmer said that her relationship with Jackson finally ended for good in early October, primarily due to the physical and emotional abuse inflicted on her by him. Palmer's filing comes after months of speculation about her and Darius's relationship status following his comments about Palmer's attire at an Usher concert. In the photos from Sin City outing, Palmer was wearing a black bodysuit with sheer black polka dot cover-up, basically doing everything that every other woman wants to do at the Usher concert. They get real dressed up and go. But this particular man, this bum, has not only control issues, but he's insecure, which makes him dangerous. You got with her knowing she was a celebrity. There are certain things that come with that. But control and insecurity are a bad combination. He said, it's the outfit, though. You a mom, Jackson wrote in July. Following online backlash, Jackson doubled down on his opinion before deleting his social media accounts. We live in a generation where a man in the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. He added at the time, this is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. So your morals allow you to hit on women. Your morals don't stop you from lunging at her neck, physically abusing her, belittling a new mom. But your morals include what she's supposed to wear. That's not your morals. Again, that's control. Palmer, for her part, didn't directly address Jackson's eyebrow-raising post, but continued to share photos of herself from the event. I wish I had taken more pictures, but we are running late. I'm telling y'all right now, if you haven't seen Usher, you must go. He was so fabulous. Giving theater Atlanta down, tips and tricks, and just absolutely iconic. She captioned an Instagram post, I was truly inspired as a performer. I whooped some ass in spades too. Where's that pic of us all together with the king himself? 1 month later, Palmer teamed up with Usher 45 for the Boyfriend music video, which referenced Jackson's comments about her outfit. What time is it? Palmer asked at the end of the clip, damn it, I missed the show. I'm so tired. I'm a mother after all. In August, an insider exclusively told us that Palmer and Jackson's dynamic was complicated after the Usher drama. It's their own lives. Those close to them hope they can work things out for the sake of themselves and their child, the source explained. They have to resolve things on their own. You don't have to work out anything for your child. Your child deserves to be in a safe space, in a loving home, and I feel that Keke can provide that. She doesn't have to provide it with him. The faster she can get away from this abuser, the better. Palmer and Jackson, who started dating in August of 2021, originally attempted to keep their relationship out of the spotlight. It became more difficult to hide, Palmer said on the Tamron Hall show in November of 2021. We spent all this time together, and he really is my closest friend. So it just becomes a thing where I'm going to hide something that makes me happy. I just thought about something. There was a post that Keke shared from her birthday with him in it. And now I'm thinking, now that we know that he's threatening to unalive himself and he's putting his hands on her, now I'm starting to think that that post was all for him. Like that post was a way to make him feel better about himself. Y'all remember that? It was definitely her birthday. And I think it was an Instagram post where she was like saying, you know, he's my friend. The thought that you put your hands on somebody and then expect them to cater to your insecurities, you hit her and now she's expected to be concerned about your well-being, but you're not concerned about hers. That's some deep shit, y'all. That's some real deep shit. Let's continue. She added, it's not going to be everything you see. My job is my job. But at the end of the day, this is somebody that is important to me, so why not? The former Nickelodeon star shocked fans when she announced her pregnancy on Saturday Night Live. She says, Leo's got a lively personality, and he keeps Keke and Darius on their toes. The sleepless nights have been a struggle. My heart really goes out to this lady. Like, really, my heart goes out to this lady. And I remember this episode of the Steve Harvey show where he was saying, oh, sorry, hold on one second. Autumn, thank you for the super chat. Autumn says, Steve Harvey tried telling Keke Palmer he tried to put her up on game. She should have listened. Classic case of watch who you have a baby with. Steve tried to tell her, but she didn't want to listen. Thank you for the super chat, Autumn. The only thing I would say to that is you don't really know what or how you react in a situation once you're in it. Keke had dates or relationships with men in the industry, men with money. If you remember, she was hiding in the closet at a Trey Songz concert because there was something weird going on there. So she's tried to date, but yeah, Steve definitely did want to put her up on game. Now, we don't know what kind of game, he's up on with Marjorie, but I'll let you guys hear that exchange. Let's see. We can do the Steve Harvey because I also wanted to let you guys, before I start bringing people up, Keke's had a rough time of it, especially as it involves her looks and people coming at her like insane. Beautiful woman. But in the spotlight, it just puts everything under a microscope, and people are really, really cruel.
Dating is good,
From Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve is always trying to get me with the billionaire. I'm like, Uncle Steve, I don't need the billionaires. I just need some simple stuff. I don't like to mix my industry business with my personal life. I'm just laying low in private, love.
I don't blame her, especially knowing what Trey Songz was doing to other people, allegedly.
Uncle Steve ain't trying to get you with no billionaire. He trying to get you with somebody that has a plan to have something. That's what I keep trying to get you to do. You can't quit bringing these.
Uncle Steve love billionaires. I'm just tell y'all, he do. Anytime I see Uncle Steve out, he's like, now I got this guy. He's got a net worth of 300 zillion. And y'all can really create generations of generations
You need
of
something
zillionaires.
with somebody with something. Quit trying to give a boy your lifestyle and he ain't earned it.
Oh my God, but you know what? Everybody don't start off as billionaires. I'm not a billionaire yet.
Everybody don't start off a billionaire, but you got to have a boy that's got a plan to at least be one. I'm not saying you got to be a billionaire, because hell, I ain't a billionaire.
And I've dated some real horrible billionaires, honey. They're not good all the time. Sometimes they're crazy, Steve. That's why I had to stop taking your advice.
I love Keke. Keke is like one of my all-time favorite people. Don't know her, but I love her.
You didn't pick the one I told you to.
Steve, the billionaires
because you
are
don't,
terrible.
Because you don't listen to who I tell you.
The billionaires be having 4 and 5 and 6 other wives.
Well, you the one over there and got them. I ain't never bought you nobody like that. You gonna sit your crazy ass up here and say that?
See, he knows I'm right. He knows I'm
You
right.
just a lie. You're not finna sit up here.
Them billionaires. Don't believe what you hear.
Palmer, you're not finna sit up here and act like I done turned you on to some bad dude. You do not listen to me.
I do.
No,
you
you
told
don't.
me about these billionaires. I said,
no, I told you, but I didn't tell you to go get him. The hell you go get him
so he was
for?
a millionaire. He had a plan. He was just lying about it all.
But I didn't tell you to get him.
I'm telling you, liars are liars, rich
This
or
little
poor.
girl right here.
You just have to find who's for you. And
Darius is not for you, but this was a big first step for her to go and file the restraining order and file for custody. This was a very big first step, and we should be applauding her courage, honestly. Because Steve, Steve, you were that wealthy man who cheated on everybody you were with up until Marjorie, and then you cheated with Marjorie. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but Steve definitely did give her some advice. Really, really quickly, I wanted you guys to see this. Hopefully they don't take this down. I want you guys to see this because not only she's a new mom, people have been pretty cruel to Keke, who is beautiful, by the way.
The Bee takes to Twitter on December 6th, writing, I just saw a few comments of people saying I was ugly because I wasn't wearing any makeup. And I really want y'all to get the help y'all need because makeup isn't real. I'm beautiful in real life because of who I am, not what I look like. The 29-year-old.
So she reads this. She's a real person. Now we know she's struggling with physical abuse. She's with a man who is emotionally abusing her, and now she has fans who are talking crap about her. This woman has been through a lot, and on top of that, she's a new mom, and we really do. I say if you're a praying person, prayers up for Keke. If you're not, definitely send Keke some positive energy. Star, you're a first. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Mims. How are you?
not great with this, with what's
I
going on.
know. I know my fellow Virgo sister. I hate to hear it, hate to see it for her. First, I want to say my heart goes out to anybody that experiences any form of abuse. I do think, though, with her being a Virgo, I see some similarities. Like even when she was on the Steve Harvey show, how she just kept saying, you know, no, I just need simple. We're kind of like that, which can be not good for us because you try not to be that way. At least I know that's how I am. I think that her coming out with this, it definitely took a lot of courage. There's a lot of women that stay in it for a very long time out of fear of what will be said to them, out of fear of backlash, out of fear of hell, the abuser doing something. So I'm very happy that she came out with this. I just think that, yeah, it definitely took a lot of courage, especially with her baby man so young. That has to be really, really tough. It has to be tough. But it now has me wondering, though, like even how you brought up, you know, her looks, like how she struggled with that for a long time. In the media recently for Keke, after she had the baby, it was like an influx of people talking about how beautiful she was. Well, how beautiful she is, how she's dressing so much better, how her skin is clear. And I think that definitely, it seems like he, which is so unfortunate, but the Usher thing, including that, it just seems like he's very insecure, and it's horrible. It's horrible that she had to experience this.
Somebody just said Kiki's mom is going off. Where is she going off, on Instagram? Let me know. We'll pull it up. We'll watch it in real time.
Well, yeah, her mom is a Virgo too, so I know that she's pissed. Like, and her mom, you know what, low key, I wouldn't be surprised if Keke comes out and say that her mom warned her.
I mean, if she wants to talk about it, do it in your own time, Keke, would be my suggestion. Right now, you got a lot going on, and you've taken the first step to, safety and being in a happy place. Because if somebody, you don't get it. Like, there have been so many instances. I told you guys that a friend of mine just recently said that, they felt like they wanted to unalive themselves. And this was like on the way home from euthanizing my dog. But in that moment, you got to jump into protection mode of that person. But if that person is mixing hitting on you with then having you protect them, that's a whole mind.
It's a whole nother thing. And it's been, to your point, Mims, it has been an influx in that. Not to change subjects, but I don't know if you've seen the turkey leg lady owner who just came out with, the claims of abuse and stuff with her. I think that her husband.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold that thought. We got more breaking news. Okay, we're about to watch Kiki's mom and what she has to say.
Done anything like this. I've been in this business for 22 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, but this is I can't help myself. For Sharonis Jackson to post on his Twitter the ridiculous stuff that he's posted when he knew his brother was abusive. I went to Sharonis over a year ago and told him that his brother was abusive to my daughter. And he said, well, I used to be like that too. What? So now he's posting on Twitter like he's this special guy when we know he's the biggest fuck boy in Hollywood. He's disrespectful to women, just like his little brother. He taught his brother how to be abusive. So he don't get to act like he's this special guy. No, you're a fuck boy and you're a part of the problem.
Wow.
Look, I've never done anything like this. I've been in this business for 20.
I was not expecting that.
Over a year.
I was not expecting that. Thank you, Shy Town. Thank you for the people who let me know about it in the chat. Wow. But I'm glad that she's speaking up for her daughter. She probably wanted to do this a long time ago, and Keke was concerned about Darius. That's how it happens. They mind fuck you. They literally make you feel like it's your job to make sure they're secure. Meanwhile, they're breaking you down to make sure that you don't leave them. That's the way this works.
Mhm.
I want to stay up, Star. I want to jump to Too Feisty, then Tommy Bites. Hi, Too Feisty. You're muted. Well, oh, sorry. While we're waiting for Too Feisty, what did the brother say? The brother said that he used to beat on women. So it's something that is a learned behavior in that family. Too Feisty? I'm going to keep you up, but you're muted. So we're going to move on to Tommy Bites TV.
Hey, Mims, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. So it's hard to hear this because I went through this when I was 19. Mind you, I'm 54 now. And that still bothers me to this day. And you're right. They will screw with your mind. And it's all about, well, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. Why is that? That's just like in the playbook or something. That's just what they all say.
Say unalive. Just
I'm sorry.
It was a YouTube thing.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Unalive. And you get to the point where you get fed up. And I think that's where she is, because I went through it for a long time, back and forth, back and forth. And then I eventually just had to stop. But when he came out and was talking about her outfit and wasn't ashamed to say, you know, but you're a mom, though. That lets you know, if he can say it out there, what is he saying to her in private? What is he doing to her in private?
Degrading her, belittling her.
She is a beautiful person, a beautiful actress. And she's been playing a role for a long time. And I'm glad she is starting to free herself to be who she was before she met this weirdo. I remember being pregnant and I was living with him and he had roommates. None of them stood up to help me. When he had me pinned against the wall, and went to, like he was punching me, and punch a hole in the wall next to my head. Nobody came to help me when he picked me up and threw me down when I was 3 or 4 months pregnant and started kicking me in my back. You will be surprised at how many people will know what's happening, but I guess they said, well, if she ain't leaving, what's the point of me doing anything? But you're at that breaking point and at that low place that they've taken you to, where you lose whatever worth or self-worth you had in yourself, that you become just numb. You know what's going to trigger him. You brace for the hit, and then you just go along with it until it's over. And you say, yeah, I'm going to leave. And you say, before you even get into a relationship like that, well, I will never be in a relationship like that. I would leave, until you get in it. And then you're too afraid to leave because they're threatening. I don't care if they're threatening to do what they're going to do to themselves, but then they start threatening you, or they start threatening your family, or what people are going to say. So it's hard to listen to all of this and know that she was going through this, and all she had was her mother. And I'm sure her mother would love to wring his neck right now. I could tell by how she was looking. She, that's her baby. No matter how old she is, that is her baby. And then you're doing this. Where's the child when this is happening? But you want to be their parent. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there, because before people get on here and start saying, well, she should have left and she should have did this, you don't know what that person is going through in that moment. And if it can happen to regular me and other people, and then you see this person who's up here and has all this status. I'm glad that she's coming out because there are other young women who are going through it and feel like they're by themselves. They're the only one going through it, because that's how I felt, even though I knew that my mother was in an abusive relationship, you know, with my father. And that's why she had left him when I was 5 years old. But you just don't know how you're going to deal with that situation until you are in it. And it just has me really, really emotional. I didn't think, because I didn't even know you were alive. And I looked up and I saw it. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So I missed the first half. I'm going to have to go back and listen. But I know enough of my own life, what she has gone through and what she's going to be going through, because he's going to continue, even though she has that order. That's a piece of paper to them. They don't care about that. It's honestly going to take somebody on these streets, I hate to say it, who love them some Keke. He need to be watching his back. That's all I'm saying.
She probably does need to move, like maybe to a building with
security,
security and things like that. And
I did hear you say that he went in her place or something.
Yes, he's gone in her house without her permission.
Yeah, that's where I came in at, so I didn't hear the before part. But yeah, she's gonna need either that or go to her mom.
Palmer claimed
she figure it out.
She has security footage from a November 5th incident in which Jackson trespassed into my home without my knowledge or consent, threatened her before lunging for my neck, striking me, throwing me over the couch, and stealing my phone. So yeah, he's on. This is some messed up territory. Negla says she's leaving in on time. I had a plate thrown at my head and was thrown down the steps, before I left him. Thank God I had no children. I'm sorry you went through that, and I'm really sorry, Tommy Bites TV, that you went through that as well. Abuse is something that so many people go through in so many different ways, whether it's from a boyfriend, girlfriend, a parent. Negla, again, thank you for the super chat. I don't know how to come up, but I want to let everyone know no one leaves until they're ready. Keke is ready now. I dropped the link. Yeah. This was an open panel night. So the link has been dropped. Anybody's welcome to come up. We could talk Keke. You could share your stories. It's a safe space.
Negla, that's the key. She is ready. If she was holding this for over a year, that hit me when the mom said it, because I'm like, okay. I kind of figured some things when he did what he did, but that was recent. And she's been dealing with that. The baby's not even a year old, is he?
No, so that's the thing. A year ago would have been when she was pregnant already. They were
so she did go through what I went through. He probably was doing that to her while she was pregnant. They don't care that you're carrying their child. It's what they want.
And it's such a cute kid.
Really?
He's really a cute kid. Leotis is adorable. And Keke glows when she's around her son. Let me show you guys. He's such a cute kid. But even you don't stay in a relationship with him for Leotis, because he's toxic. He's toxic. And if he's threatening to unalive himself, that puts, your child at risk as well.
Exactly.
There was just a video of a man who walked into this, he walked into a car lot where his baby mama worked, and, powder point blank. And now they're both gone. There's no rhyme or reason, and it's not for Keke to figure out. The only thing she has to figure out is how to make sure that he's never around her again. That's it.
And I would also be seeking, if he's going to see the child, that it is supervised. Because I would not be able to trust him with a part of me, you know what I'm saying, and take it out on the baby.
So she suffered in silence because there's no police report. So she did not even file a police report on him, probably trying to protect him this whole time.
And some people probably going to say she was trying to protect herself and her image, but I don't see that, because she's always been one to be very open about what happens with her. She may have been embarrassed that, wow, I made this choice, because that happens too. And you start to beat yourself up. But she probably looked at that baby one day and was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Hold on one second. It was Too Feisty. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, jump in.
Well, I just wanted to say I'm not completely sure what the catalyst of this decision was, but I am proud of her for not only making the choice to separate, but also to put things on paper. Um, Unfortunately, we do not live in a system that protects us
Yeah.
without making those official things happen. It's always a he said versus she said. And as we've seen play out, the she said is not usually believed. So I am glad that, she is making some things official, putting it on record in terms of what she's been experiencing so that the proper authorities can intervene. And because these are life-saving decisions for her. And then just a heads up to everyone that's listening. We've seen this play out. We know how the manosphere works. So please protect your energy when engaging online. They're going to blame her. They're going to say it's her fault. They're going to say she emasculated him, that she was not, behaving appropriately. They're gonna make him out to be a victim.
She talked too much.
Yes, all of the above. I mean, we already see like
Isn't
what his brother's already said. It's really her that's being abusive. It's not really. It's
Wow.
not his brother. He he did a tweet and delete. He's already blaming, Keke. So just a heads up, because
The
like I said,
brother
we
did a
been through
tweet
all
and
this.
delete.
Yeah, he did a tweet and delete, basically saying that Keke is the one that's abusive and she's created this.
Is-
That's what her mom was reacting to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. If you look, there's plenty of screenshots.
So now
going
he's
around,
trying to
but
cover himself and his career, but she can bring him right on down with it. And she
yes,
sure did. She put him on blast.
yes, the video that you played of her mom is reacting to what his brother tweeted, basically saying in so many words that she's actually the one that's abusive to him, not vice versa.
That's crazy.
So, but this, like I said, this is how that little system in the manosphere, that's how it works. We victimize the men and we don't hold them accountable, and we blame the actual victims. We've literally seen this play out. It's still playing out for Megan. So just a heads up, just to protect your energy, because we do a lot of windmilling online, going back and forth with these, the DJ academics of the world. Just skip the conversations, because
He better not say a thing.
They don't want to believe women. They not only do they want men to be able to get away with whatever, but they also don't see women as victims. So just a heads up to skip the drama. Don't even engage with them. This is the perfect time to use that block button.
What is the Twitter that you saw that on?
Oh, I mean, not just he deleted it already, but it's screenshots all over. If you look, it's probably trending.
How do you spell
It's on Instagram.
It's on the Shade Room too.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to the Shade Room.
You already got people saying that that's home business. Why are they putting home business outside?
Because that mindset,
home business,
stuff like that. Yeah.
That's that
You don't
mindset.
want.
Hey, man.
You don't want to hear that. They're just saying a lot of ignorant stuff.
Hold on one second. If you're not talking, definitely put your mute yourself. Not the person who was just talking.
I just said, hey, Mims, but yes, this is Nagla. First of all, it's a pleasure to speak with you, but not under these circumstances. I am a survivor. It started out little, and then what happened to me, I began to drink to okay, well, I don't feel it if I, if I drink and, or what have you. And it became progressively worse. And there was one incident where he threw a plate at my head, and there was a busted hole in my head. I went to the doctor. The doctors would not leave me, they wouldn't make him leave the room like they do now, to ask, is there anything going on at home or anything like that? Then there was an incident when he had thrown me down the stairs and I passed out. And the ambulance came and got me, and they said I fell because I was drunk, but I was drunk because I was drinking Thunderbird to deal with the bruises that he had caused me. I'm sharing my story because I still stayed with this man for 3 months after. It was not until the light turned on for me that I actually got up and left the man. Keke has made that first step. I wanted to highlight that point. I sent 2 super chats because she has made that first step and saying, this is what is happening to me. And I have a child that I have to protect. I don't care if it's about me, it's about my child too. And this is my story and it needs to be told. And that's what I appreciate about what young sister Keke is doing.
Definitely. And
Can I ask the young lady who just was talking a question? Because when I was young.
hold on, Negla, I think you have a plan in the background. So whenever you come back up to answer her question, Negla, just make sure that you don't have us playing in the background. That's where the echo's coming from.
Because I wanted to ask her a question because I know when I was younger, there was a girl that was younger than me that I went to school with. And she was in an abusive relationship, which I did not know until one day we were coming out of the school and I saw the guy grab her arm. And he was yelling at her. But because I knew her, I know her mother and her father and stuff, I did get involved. And I yelled at the guy and I told him, you will not put your hand on her. And I looked at her and I was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you letting this boy put his hands on you? And she just, well, he really wasn't doing anything. And no, yes, he was. And I mean, when I say I got in his face, I mean, I was ready to fight. And then she was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And she started defending him. And I was like, and then I will let him whip your tail. You will not stand here and still be talking to him. We got on the bus on the way home. I had to get off at her stop. And I had to go to her house and tell her mother what was happening. I don't know what's of her now, but I do know because I told her mother, he had to stay away from her. Wow. She did come, a year later and thank me for that. But what I couldn't understand is what made it okay? What in her mind made it okay? Because I've seen friends who are with guys who are verbally abusive. And I'm trying to figure out.
There's no rhyme or reason to it, though. I think trying to figure it out is like trying to count sand in a beach. For every person, they're going to have different scenarios. It could be something as simple as you saw it growing up, so it's normalized to you. Or it could be a situation where the person gets into your head, makes you feel loved, and then that's when the abuse starts. It could be self-esteem issues. It could be you just love them and they beat on. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And, the best thing that you could do is really try to support somebody. But it can be difficult because people aren't always ready. And then you speak out and now you're the problem. But I want to point out, hold on.
Ma'am, you hit the nail on the head. Additionally, people in that position, and I apologize, I wasn't trying to cut you off, and I hope I'm not getting an echo. However, the other thing is that person usually does everything that they can to control you. And we know that even though Keke has the big pockets, she's the type of sister that's, okay, you're my husband. So I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to let you lead me. You're my husband, even though I'm the bigger star or what have you. And so you do that. And so they get the big head and then they think that, you know what I mean? That strokes their ego. But then you do something wrong, like she wore the dress. Oh, you was doing too much.
Yeah, it's definitely a control issue. I think Timeless and Gabor, I don't think we've heard from y'all.
I was just talking, ma'am. You
Oh,
didn't hear from me.
I'm sorry, I saw you that you were muted. And
What's good?
Hey, Gabor.
Nothing much. Oh Lord.
And yes, like Gabor said, Keke's the only star in this situation.
Yeah, she is the only star in this situation. You seen her mama came out and said that he was even beating her a year ago. The mama went and told the brother a year ago.
Yeah, we watched that. We definitely just watched it, and then we saw that that this was the tweet that the brother had put out. Let me show the screen. The most disgusting, vile, abusive, manipulative person I have ever encountered in my entire life. Abuses almost everyone. Y'all will see. Just send positive energy to the babies. Any child in the middle of something like this does not deserve it all the way. Wow, so damn sad. Didn't he get somebody pregnant?
But isn't it possible that he could have been talking about his brother?
No.
No, because she reached out to him. And he said that.
I know, but this tweet was first, and then the mother responded. But this tweet could have been about his brother, right?
Let's listen to what the mom had to say again. Let's see.
22 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, but this is I can't help myself. For Sharonis Jackson to post on his Twitter the ridiculous stuff that he's posted when he knew his brother was abusive. I went to Sharonis over a year ago and told him that his brother was abusive to my daughter. And he said, well, I used to be like that too. What? So now he's posting on Twitter like he's this special guy when we know he's the biggest fuck boy in Hollywood. He's disrespectful to women, just like his little brother. He taught his brother how to be abusive. So he don't get to act like he's this special guy. No, you're a fuck boy and you're a part of the problem. Look, I've never.
She said that from her chest. Yeah, no, if he's telling her that he used to be that way, I highly doubt he's talking about his brother.
Yeah.
He did get someone pregnant. The lady who played Tasha on Insecure, he got her pregnant while he was married.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel so bad for Keke. Like just the thought of having to do this, knowing that it's gonna hit the media, is crazy. Because it's Keke Palmer, it's gonna be out there. Now she has to deal with being a new mom. She has to deal with the public outcry. She's gonna have to deal with the manosphere. And we don't call academics. We call him what's his name? Which is it, Tom or Jerry? Which one? Is TJ Academics Tom or Jerry from
Jerry?
He's Jerry, the mouse, right?
He's Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Q the content guy?
Hello.
Hey.
I can be kind of controversial with stuff like this. I would like to personally, I would like to hear both sides of the story, but I always wondered to myself when stuff like this happens, will this be what kind of backlash will Keke receive? Because she's going, even though she probably didn't do anything wrong. I just feel like she's going to receive like two different things can happen. Either she'll get a different kind of audience or she'll receive backlash. But I am curious to know about like what exactly went down. And if this happened a year ago, where's her dad stepping in? Where's like any siblings stepping in or something like that? Because if the mother is the only one stepping in and Keke is not trying to hear her mother, it's just weird. It's just weird. But I do feel bad for her if this is, whatever's going on in her relationship. Like I said, a year ago, if this happened for a year or some change.
Wait, I'm a little confused. What are you asking? I'm following. The Tom and Jerry thing got me thrown off. Let me take this off. So you're asking what again? I'm sorry.
I'm saying that if this happened a year ago, where was her father? Where was her brother at for the mother to go over to his brother? Like, I feel like the father or somebody should jump in because her parents are still together. So that's why I'm saying, like,
Well, a year ago she was pregnant.
No,
So,
that's the point though. Like if she was pregnant and he was still putting his hands on her, then I'm saying if you went to his brother and his comment to the brother was, "Oh, well, I used to be like that," then I'm looking at it like, okay, where's her father at? Where I don't know if she has siblings or not, but
She the
where's
oldest.
Can I just interject quickly?
She got two younger siblings. She got two younger siblings, but she's
hold
the
on.
oldest.
Hold
Okay.
on 1 second. If you aren't talking, please mute because the echo is pretty bad. To answer your question, I think the mom, we don't know that Keke told anybody else.
Right.
And at the time that you are what, in your late 20s,
Mm-hmm.
what you choose to do with your life is your business. Her mom can't physically remove her from a situation. That has to be Keke's choice, you know? Maybe it got bad enough that she had to tell her mom when she was pregnant, but her mom can only do what Keke allows her to do for her. And whether it's the dad, the brother, nobody can technically stop an abuser until the person who's being abused puts a stop to it. I mean, you can stop them, but that's not what that's
what I'm saying. I'm not saying to pour her out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just simply just thinking and just talking. I'm just saying if the mother knew, I wonder if the mother said something to the father, and then if the father may have jumped in to be like, kind of check this out, even though he still continued to probably do it. Like how many people may have jumped into this and try to stop this guy from what he was doing to her before she finally was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm out the door. Because of course, at the end of the day, you have to be willing to leave on your own. So that's all I was simply saying.
But here's my thought on that. When you're in that situation, and if you know how your dad is, or you know how your brothers are, you really don't want to go to them because you don't want them to overreact. And then they end up, where, behind bars because they have done something, to defend you. So maybe dad did know, but mom decided she was going to be the one to go. And that's out of protecting the father or the brothers. Because when I was in it, at first I didn't tell anybody. But then when I did, it doesn't mean that they didn't talk to me. But like you said, you got to be ready to get out of that situation. Now, when I finally talked to my dad about it, it's almost like it was hard for him to even say, well, he said you need to leave, but I don't think he could give me what I needed because one, that was his relationship with my mom. You see what I'm saying? So we don't know if she talked to them, and if she did, what they decided to do as a family. Because I think had I told my brother, it would have been a different story, but I didn't tell him. One, because he's military, and I didn't want him to do something that would ruin his career over what I felt at the time was my stupid decisions. And she's probably feeling like this was my thing. I got into it. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to get out of it, and maybe she didn't tell them until a year ago.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No
So now he has responded to
Lord.
her response. It's getting ugly. He says, quote me, "I never once said that to Sharon, not once in my life. I have never been abusive to any of the women I ever been involved with. I'm not going to keep on with this circus. But Sharon, the world is about to hear your voice very soon, and the threats you made to my family. Be well, everyone. I know it's easy to get caught up in this, but make no mistake that all of this is very sad."
Okay, can I jump in here
like
super quick? Can I
family,
jump in?
He protecting himself.
Can I jump in?
his family needs this.
Okay.
Their family needs this.
So I just wanted to say too a couple of things that came across my mind, right? Like a few things. I think that when we get into the like where was her dad or where was her brothers, or like I think we have to be super, super careful about those types of questions, right? Because they can easily slide into looking at Keke as something's wrong with her, or why didn't she, or we're too smart for that, right? And at the end of the day, for me, taking a look at the whole situation, when we think about women and when we think about just people that are abused, period, right? even if we take women out of this scenario, but we really can't because it's Keke. We're talking about a woman. But in it, there are literally cases where women have gotten in situations, and I'm talking about legal situations, where they have put up with abuse for so long that now it does something psychologically to their brain pattern, where they are able to defend that. They call it a battered women syndrome, right? These are real life situations that happen where physically in a woman's mind or anybody that's abused mind, it changes their brain pattern, right? And there's decisions and choices that's made that may not be the best choice, but psychologically there is research that speaks to why a woman stays or why a woman doesn't automatically just pick everything up and go, right? So in it, when you look at the total, for me, this is me, a couple of things. For me, Keke, that is like, for our community, I'm talking about our community, she is our sweetheart. She is America's Black sweetheart. And for the brother to put out a statement like that, going all the way back, I mean, and again, we don't know these people as far as their personal lives, but when you've been in the business as long as Keke has, something gonna get out, right? Something's gonna be out there on some level, for the most part, that she's this massive abuser, right? So for him to come out and literally gaslight us is so insane to me, right? That within itself was pathetic. And I see why he deleted it. But this Darius character, I didn't even know who he was until he got with Keke. So in it, when you look at that and you look at the fact that for me, because based off of what I do for a living, that this guy has nothing to lose at the end of the day, right? So we look at that. We look at the fact that she's the higher earning, she's the more famous person. He has nothing to lose. And when a person starts talking about taking their own life, that typically means they don't care about their life, which means they care less about yours, right? And so in it, we have to keep that in the forefront of our minds. Otherwise, we start getting into these questions about, well, why didn't she do this? Or why didn't she? Or why wasn't the daddy? Or where was the brothers? Who cares? At the end of the day, I feel like this should be a time, and I'm praying that as a community, not just the Black community, but in Hollywood as well, for the Black Hollywood community, there needs to be a hashtag, I stand for Keke, because at the end of the day, that's where we need to be, right? That's really where we need to be. And all of the gaslight conversations and statements and all of that, they're gonna be there because people like drama, they like sensationalized statements that's ignorant, right? So you're gonna have those people that do that. But my prayer is that because this is very serious, and sometimes I think that because it's Hollywood, that we don't take it for the seriousness that it is. DV is very, very serious. And at the end of the day, I pray that we have people that come out and have positive engagement statements, platforms that they have where we can really have conversations. So, ma'am, I salute you for this because it is very serious. And when we take a look at the totality, right? Because I've been not only this relationship, but Keke as a whole from back in the day. So for me, I look at this from that lens, and also for what I do as well.
I haven't.
So I just wanted to make sure that I shared that because that was on my heart to share.
I haven't pulled up, y'all, but that's a tough one for YouTube. YouTube is very specific about what they allow you to show. I'm gonna try to show this. Everybody, please mute if you're not. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and show it. If this video gets demonetized, it's okay. Just as I guess this would be a trigger warning. TMZ has obtained the steals and stuff from what we're talking about. And now, okay. So he did break into her house and he did get physical with her. So it does not look like Keke was the one that was lying here. And in terms of the brother, I want to say this. You posted something. The response to the post is problematic because you were the one who put something out. You knew that it was involving these two. So I think he's trying to save whatever little career he has. I don't think he's worked technically since maybe Tubi, since that Insecure. And even on Insecure, he was like a bit character. I want to say this. As I was listening to everybody talk, I want to thank you guys for sharing all of your stories of domestic abuse and being survivors. But just getting into what I think might be Keke's mindset, if you have a newborn baby and you have your partner saying that they're going to unalive themselves, more than likely he was probably using the baby. So if I do this to myself, then Leo is not going to have a dad. He's going to grow up without a dad. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure if he's consistently coming at her because of her motherhood and really digging at her, calling her a bad mother and saying she's not about the family, and then telling her that he's going to unalive himself, that plays into that. So she probably did not feel comfortable really sharing with her father and her brothers and all these other people, because now she's not only having to protect her son, she's having to protect herself, and she's having to protect this man who's putting his hands on her. And then probably using the son, because she did say in her petition for a restraining order that he would talk to the son and say things and curse and in front of the son and say things to the son about her. So I'm pretty sure there was so many different layers of manipulation that he used to keep her involved with him or keep him in her life. It's sad. Ranting with Ricardo, I don't think you got a chance to speak.
Listen, I want to say thank you to everybody who's up here sharing these stories, because these are stories that people need to hear, especially in times like this where we do see on social, like we see these situations play out on social media and there's nobody to help. Like Mims mentioned, I did see the video of that boy, I'm not calling him a man, that's a boy, going to, his ex-girlfriend's job and ultimately taking her life. Like that played, like we got to see that. When people are saying they're, you need to keep this in-house, this is in-house business. There's no such thing as in-house business when it comes to abuse of any kind. That's why people think it is acceptable, because people feel like, oh, this is in-house business, you shouldn't talk about this. This is not acceptable for the outside world to know. You just have to suffer in silence, and you wonder why people go through so much that they go through, why they internalize so much, why if you have children living in a household that you feel like you can't talk about what's going on here, that they are going through anxiety and it starts to take a toll on their mental and their physical. I feel for Keke. Not that I've gone through it myself, but I've been a child in a household where I've watched the adults put hands on one another, which then for me, it was, well, I don't understand as a child why this is happening. I was always taught, you keep your hands to yourself. Why are the adults in this household putting hands on one another? That made no sense to me. So growing up and becoming an adult, it's just made me overly cautious and overly aware of the things around me, and possibly keeps me from wanting to go out and date, because just like, well, can you see the warning signs? Can you not see the warning signs? Do the people just put on this false air about themselves until you're like, you have time into this relationship, or maybe you have a baby and then they switch up on you? These are things where people's like, well, how didn't she know that he was like this? Or how didn't, this person was like this? Or how didn't you know about, their past? Who knows? Because honestly, we got told how she met that man. They was at a rap party for Insecure. His brother had him over there. She went over. She wasn't looking for anything serious, and then it got serious.
Well, yeah, he latched on to what he knew was
Yes.
his only like option to be successful in life.
She told us how they met. Like, she did an interview and she told us how they met. She was not looking for anything serious, and then they got serious, and then she ended up pregnant. Now, there could be speculations on how that played out. We don't know. Because that's like, that right there, that's their personal business. But in all honesty, nobody knew who he was. First of all, the man, I'm just saying, he was down to YouTube with a Caucasian lady who he was dating before, making 2K videos, playing basketball. Now, where is that YouTube channel now? I don't know. I just know as soon as what happened, maybe 2, 3, 4 months ago, with her going to the Usher concert, that YouTube channel was like gone from what you can see. His posts were gone. Like this boy, I'm not calling him a man, because you're a child. If you feel like you could put your hands on people and disrespect people and abuse them, like, you are a child. Children, and I feel bad comparing him to a child, because most children know not to put their hands on one another. They know right from wrong. They know violence is not the answer. They know how to articulate themselves. When it comes to articulating their emotions, they know how to emote correctly. When he was calling her out and showcasing his abuse, which at the time we didn't know what that was, but he still got ate up for it, because like, who are you to tell her what to wear? She's an adult, just like you're the adult you pretend to be. Then people start doing a deep dive of, his Twitter. And most of the time people don't, when they get into relationships with people or start hooking up with people, they don't go like, oh, I'm going to just do a deep dive of your social media. Like, I'm going to go back to the way beginning. But this is what happened. And people found out that, well, this man is homophobic. He's a left winger. Like, there are so many things that it's just like, well, damn. So then he takes his social media offline, because now he getting cooked. People they're not putting up with it. Then more stuff comes out. Like, you're her employee. Like, you were using her money to fly women to her home to cheat on her with, but on Spirit, because if you went with any other airline, she would have noticed how much money was coming out of, how much money was being charged. Wait,
that information has come out? He was cheating on her and flying out with her money? Where did you hear that?
That information came out back when the Usher thing happened. Like, the girls were coming out saying, oh yeah, he done flew me out. He been in my DMs. All this like on Twitter came out then. And then after, she said what she said, like, my man, we heard nothing else of it. But to me, this is, and when it comes down to what his brother said, I know a lot of people were like, well, maybe he's defending Keke. Maybe he's talking about his brother. And someone had to say no, because right before he did that post and delete, his brother retweeted it. And then he deleted it. So you're defending your brother, and it's just like, my guy. Depending on the shows that you're on, which are owned by Disney, even though they got their own stuff with them right now, will you have a job after this? Seeing as you are in support of the abuse. Like, there's not no alleged about it. We've seen the pictures. If TMZ does more, they'll probably get the video to show.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to see the video, but
I don't want to see it.
Hold on really quickly, Rain. Brandon Martin, thank you so much for the super chat. Brandon says, Mims, thank you for covering this topic of DV. I had to watch my mom and sister be physically abused by men when I was a child. It was awful and traumatizing. I'm sorry you went through that, Brandon. It seems like a lot of people in this chat have either dealt with it directly or they've seen it from their parents. Thank you for the super chat. Oak28 says, just like Jennifer Hudson, where the mother, brother, nephew was involved in that DV case. DV is very serious for anyone involved. Keep spreading the message, ma'am. Thank you, Oak28. I forgot about that situation, but yes, there was DV, and then the assailant took out everybody but Jennifer. Left her
because she wasn't.
It was her sister.
Yeah, her
It was
sister.
her sister boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah,
That's when I said the assailant. That's who.
Yeah,
That's
but
who.
the only reason
Hold
why.
on 1 second, Randy. So thank you for that super chat, guys. On this channel, we support people, and it was a domestic violence situation where we did that charity fundraiser a couple weeks back, where we raised $4,000. It was Tierra Scott, who was not even the person who was targeted. She was just at her friend's house, but her friend was experiencing domestic violence, and the friend's boyfriend came to unalive her, shot her, but then actually unalived Tierra, who was a mother. So domestic violence, like, it's nothing to play with. I heard somebody say they approached somebody one time and told the person to stop. I don't really know what the right or wrong answer is there. Do you call the police? Do you do a safety check? But sometimes if you're getting involved in a domestic violence situation, you might be putting yourself and that person at risk. So I don't technically know what the right or wrong answer is. I know my mom did something similar when I was a kid, drove her car up the block, like up a block, because somebody was abusing their wife and dragging her down the street. I don't know what the right or wrong answer is there. Was there anybody who hadn't had a chance to talk though? I think everybody.
I did want to say something before I drop because it's kind of late. Can we all collectively stop saying Steve Harvey tried to tell her? Because honestly, it doesn't really have any bearing on what she's experiencing right now. He was referring to dating men with means and not dating men who have less money than her. I'm pretty sure he wasn't sitting back telling her, hey, this man is going to put his hands on you if you continue dating him and men in his income bracket. Nobody could have predicted this. And it honestly, it really is yet another way of blaming the victim to be like, you should have listened to this relationship guru. You would have been able to avoid this situation if you had listened to him. It honestly, it layers on the disrespect and the trauma when we do stuff like that. So can we all collectively just stop saying that? I've seen that pop up several times in the chat since you've been live. It's unnecessary, guys.
Well, actually, Marjorie's the relationship guru. Marjorie's the one who came out like roses. Lori's the relationship guru, not Steve.
Yeah.
They done worked his pockets.
I agree with you, Feisty. Like, there is no way to be like, see, you shouldn't have dated this person because see what they're doing now. Like, you don't.
Like, see, you shouldn't have dated this person because see what they're doing now. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
Especially when somebody's trying to.
Like, when somebody's trying to get out of the situation, you can't be like, see, I told you shouldn't have dated them. Or
that's what makes it hard for you to leave. That's what makes it hard for you to come forward, rather, because you're going to get that backlash, good or bad. What did you do? Why didn't you listen? You should have did this. No one wants to hear that. She's doing what she is supposed to do at the moment that she is supposed to do it. She wasn't ready then. So we can't beat her up for that.
Well, they're already beating her up, and this is what my big conflict is with some of these reality shows and some of these people in the entertainment world with these men or whatever you want to call them. I really do not like the aggressiveness and the way that people are portraying how a man is supposed to treat a woman. And this is my personal. That's why I talk to my daughter. She's about to go to college. I talk to my daughter since she was young. There's certain things I need her to know and to understand. And I made sure that we had this relationship where she can always call and talk to me. My daughter is very, very smart, very athletic, knows what she wants. And I know that's the type of person a man would want to get in connection with to dim her light. But I prepare her mentally and I tell her there's certain things you will see in a man. If me personally, if a man at any time makes you feel scared, leave. This is my
Amen.
personal.
Amen.
This is my personal. Leave. That's a sign. If you feel scared at any time from the way he's talking or whatever, leave. If at any time he tries to degrade you, leave. It's too many shows out here trying to make it seem like men make the woman. The woman is supposed to take care of the man. Your job is to take care of me, and that's it. I don't care what education you have. I don't care how far you've come. Now you're with me. You're supposed to take care of me and make me get to where I need to be. I don't believe in that. I probably said this on your platform before. I put too much into my daughter for some dumb man to come and tell her she needs to take care of him. I'm married. I've been married for 20 years. Me and my husband are in a partnership. When I say partnership, if I ain't feeling good, I know he can handle the house. I know he can take care of the kids. When I had my daughter, she was first. I made sure he knew how to take care of her because you never know what's going to happen. When I had my kids, I always had one foot in the grave. It was hard pregnancies, but I needed him to be able to take care of his kids. That means clean, change her diaper. I don't care if she's a girl. Your job is to take care of her if anything happens to me.
And I feel like you are the kind of woman to say. I feel like Thomas is the woman who lays down the rules. And I'm happy that you've had a 20-year loving, committed relationship. I hope that he finds that one day.
Thank you. But I just want these women to understand that these shows out here that be, if anybody is in some type of situation, and any woman on this panel, if you know what you can say to anybody in this position, say it now. But if anybody is in this position, understand that you're worthy, you're bigger, and you matter. Be able to get up and walk away. If you got to be slick about it, you got to prep them up, make them feel right. Get your exit strategy and get out. Because you can get out. I'm glad Keke got up and got out. But you already have these men on here in this social media atmosphere downing Keke, already saying it's her fault. Maybe she should have listened. Maybe she should have did this. And that's why I made sure that both of my kids are not on social media like that. Now my daughter's old enough to get on it, but she understands what's behind it. So she knows how to use it. But understand you women, all women, you have to understand you are worth more than anything any man can give you. When you all get into a relationship, you make each other. You ain't got to be the one washing his clothes and feeding him. He got to feed you and wash your clothes too. He got to be able to clean just like you clean. cook just like you cook. He may not cook as good as you, but he got to be able to survive. He was surviving before he met you. He going to survive after he leave you. I don't want to be preaching all day and all night, but I just want y'all to hear me.
You definitely spoke a word. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I'm sure there'll be more in this story. I'm sure. I hope that Keke comes forward in her own time, if she even chooses to come forward. I don't want to see the mom, the uncle fighting. This is a horrible situation. And for all parties involved, I kind of want Keke to be in a safe space. If he's breaking into her house, figure all that stuff out. Hopefully she gets the protective order in place so that she can have that on paper should he try to come. Keke has enough money and influence that I'm pretty sure there'll be like a security detail to kind of like help her through this. I'm absolutely sure of it, because she's beloved in the industry. Guys, this is way past my bedtime, so I'm going to see you all later. On a lighter note, we're going to leave with this picture of DJ Academics again. Or Tom and Jerry, as he's called.
I call him DJ Fatback. I don't like that man.
Okay, here we go. We're going to leave with the DJ Academics picture.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Night, everybody.
Mm-hmm.